Alright, what is going on, guys? Crypto Mac here, bringing another crypto video today. We're going to take a look at Casper Labs, just do a bit of an update video, talk about this breakout from the descending channel that was forming, talk about the cup and handle that's also in play, as well as the current market situation with Bitcoin back up to 49,000 level, which is pretty good. Also breaking out of a falling wedge, so just thought I'll do a bit of an update video. Just want to say this video is not financial advice, so please do your own research. So looking at it, Casper's trading at 12 cents, which is pretty solid, as we can see. And we can also see on the daily here that we had the breakout and then a wick, perfectly confirming the breakout. And then, well, currently we had 2 green candles on the daily. And so relatively significant in my opinion. Could indicate the start of a move up and complete the cup and handle. So that what we're discussing, if you've been following the channel, you know I've talked about this quite a bit. If you're a fan of Casper and are following Casper, effectively we have this big cup that's playing out, and then this is a handle, and so this line here is our price target range, which is as high as 38 cents, and I think we'll land. I could see ourselves the first steps to get back up to this line and break through the resistance here, and then once that happens and we can get above this line, I would say our next target kind of area where we could land in for Casper's around that 36 cents to 32 cents, somewhere in that range. That's what we're looking for Casper. I'm pretty bullish on this coin. I feel like it is a pretty strong coin and has some good fundamentals. And is looking good on the technical analysis as well. And one thing I just constantly remind people on is this like big move here that we saw. Massive parabolic move, just to show that like Casper is capable of making these big moves. And the other thing is that this big trend here was pretty important. This big rally here, because whilst this was happening, Bitcoin wasn't actually performing that well, and Casper was kind of making good moves, new highs, and technically it was just performing extremely well. It broke out of the big symmetrical triangle. We went up, almost got close to our target, then formed another symmetrical triangle, broke out of that. We held support on this line, broke out of this, held this line of support, went higher, hit the line about perfect where we thought there'd be resistance. Now I've come down and forming that cup and handle. So we're basically just looking for the next move, which is the breakout of this channel. Which is right here. The breakout. We've confirmed it, and so now we're just looking for that move back up to 22 cents where we were before at that period. So a move like this to go back up to 22 cents could put us around the first week of Jan. If we follow a similar steepness level of the downtrend, could find us the first or maybe second week of January back up to that level, and then could spark a really good first month of the year for Casper and the rest of the market, maybe Bitcoin as well. Obviously, if Bitcoin doesn't do that well, I'm not sure if we can get to that level. Also, look at the Casper Bitcoin chart. Not much has changed, obviously, just kind of trending sideways. Here on the daily, a bit of a symmetrical triangle beginning to form there, you can see. But all in all, we had a really strong run, as I talked about before, where Casper was forming these bull flags and just had a really nice run. And all in all, is this massive symmetrical triangle playing out. I haven't connected it because it'll be very far down the line for that. Lastly, Bitcoin was in this falling wedge we spoke about. We had the breakout, and we didn't confirm it. That's one thing that might play out. We might actually come down and test this line of support. It's always something to watch for when doing technical analysis, and whenever there's a breakout, is that sometimes it's fake out, sometimes it breaks out. And then it'll want to come down, test a line of support before heading higher. And the target again is 52,000, and that'd send us above the bull market support band, which would be very nice. So definitely another thing to watch. Hopefully we can get up to that level. And I think if we can really pump to 52,000, and we've already seen Bitcoin, move like from the breakout, it's already up about 3 or 4%, which is pretty small, but we've started that move up. And if we can get to 52,000, that's where that's where Casper can start to move back up to that 14, 15, 16 cent range. And, get to a level about here, and then people can really start seeing the bigger picture of getting back up to this line where there'd be some strong resistance. And then if we're able to break that line and get above it, that'd be extremely important. So this is what we're looking at for Casper. I'm very bullish on this project. I think it's going to have a pretty big 2022, as I think the entire market will. Short term, look, you can't predict short term movements, but you know, we can see the breakout from this descending channel is pretty important. And breaking out of this falling wedge is extremely bullish for Bitcoin. And if it's bullish for Bitcoin, then that's bullish for the rest of the market, or even more bullish, you could say, because you know that these altcoins tend to perform even better than Bitcoin when Bitcoin does well. So just something to watch. I guess I'll be watching Casper move over the next day, 2 days, a week. I'll do another video probably in a few days, maybe a week, depending on what happens. I mean, like, to be honest, I'm making these videos every day on different coins. And for altcoins, the videos, when I talk about altcoins, it's just like, they just follow what Bitcoin does so heavily. And with Bitcoin, I mean, if we really look at it, Bitcoin's only been moving between this 12% range for about nearly 3 weeks. Nearly 3 weeks of just this pretty much sideways movement. It's slow downtrend, nothing exciting, nothing strange. I mean, if we look up in the past, right, if it was doing something similar to this move here, right, you could talk about what this means to the market. And then in the 60,000 range, well, that's when we're just extremely bullish and can see it going to 80k, 90k, 100k. There's so much to talk about. And then these big drop-offs are big to talk about as well. Like, this is a 10% move. Down here is 15%. This is 20%. We're talking about big 20% moves. Can we hold support? Then these big drop-offs as well. There's just so much to talk about. But for the moment, like, I'm just making these daily videos trying to discuss how I feel about the market. But with Bitcoin just not doing much, altcoins are just bleeding against Bitcoin effectively. And that's just been what I've been saying, you know, since we started this kind of downtrend. And that's what we're waiting on, is that next move. And I'm not going to sit here and say the next move has to be upwards. It seems it started that move upwards. And if we can, as I said, if we can get above 52,000 and get above the bull market support band, well, that's when we can start to take off. That's where alts can start to take off. But for the moment, I mean, we also could come back down, break through, and go lower, right? There's always a possibility. And if that took place, then there's now something else to talk about. But as there's just sideways movement, there just wasn't a lot to talk about there for a while. So it's pretty exciting to get the breakout. Let me know what you think of Casper. Let me know what you think of the entire market in its current state. Please give the video a like and subscribe to the channel, guys. And I'll catch you later.